Sexual abuse is a serious problem in the United States. Sexual abuse is an adult using a child or adolescent, mentally retarded individual, or elderly individual for sexual purposes. Today we will learn how to use the Megan Law website, but first we must learn some background information about sexual abuse and Megan's Law. So what is Megan's Law? Megan's Law is a federal law passed in 1996 that authorizes local law enforcement agencies to notify the public about convicted sex offenders living, working, or visiting their communities. Megan's Law was inspired by the case of 7-year-old Megan Kenka, a New Jersey girl who was raped and killed by a known child molester who moved across the street from the family. The Kenka family fought to have local communities warned about sex offenders in the area. Here are some startling statistics about sexual abuse. 1 in 4 girls are sexually abused before the age of 18. 1 in 6 boys are sexually abused before the age of 18. And 1 in 5 children are solicited sexually while on the internet. Children are often abused by those they trust the most. 30 to 40% of victims are abused by a family member. Another 50% are abused by someone outside the family whom they know and trust. An estimated 39 million survivors of childhood sexual abuse exist in America today, and an astounding 84% of United States prison inmates were abused as children. Now it's time to take a look at the website. Go to the address I have posted in the browser, and this is the page that's going to come up. The first thing you're going to see is a warning, and the warning is put in place to help the people who are registered. It says, any person who uses the information herein to threaten, intimidate, or harass the registrant or their family, or who otherwise uses this information, may be subject to criminal prosecution or civil liability. Okay, so what we're going to do is accept that we won't harass them or do anything to them. Then it's going to come up and you're going to see the most wanted offenders, okay, and that's in the state of Pennsylvania. But we're going to do a search. And you can do the search by county, municipality, city, zip code, mile radius, name, non-complacent offenders, or sexually violent offenders. We're going to go with this. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to click on a city, and I am just going to choose Ephrata. I've already typed it in. I'm going to select it. And it's going to take some time to process. They just load all of the registrants in. And you're going to see in Ephrata, there are quite a few. You guys are going to be choosing the town that you live in, but we'll just do Ephrata as an example. The longer it processes, the more registrants there are in that city. All right, so here we go. We're in Ephrata, and it's loading everybody that's registered. As you can see, it lists them, and it lists them if they work or if they live in Ephrata. So not all of these people live in Ephrata. They may just work in Ephrata as well. Okay, so once you're into the website, I'm going to click on the first man listed. Okay, and as you can see, this is Todd. The first thing it's going to do is show you a physical description of him, and you can see his year of birth, gender, all that stuff, height, weight, at the bottom, color of his eyes even. The second thing they're going to show you is his address. And as you can see, he lives in Ephrata. And if you scroll down a little further, you can see that he also works in Ephrata. The next thing that they're going to show you, and I'm having a little hard time clicking. There we go, is his vehicle info. And as you can see, it could have the make, model, and color, but he doesn't drive. So we're just going to go next. And, okay, this will be his offense. What did he do to get himself here? If you don't understand it, click on those blue letters, and it'll give you exactly what he did. Tell you what offense he committed. We can go back here. We'll just X out. And then the last, well, almost last thing, you can see, does he have any aliases? Does he go by any other names? He does not. And then finally, the photographs. So it'll start, this is a new feature they've added, and you can see if he changes his looks. Okay, and finally, I'm going to give you an assignment later, and you can go back to the search offenders, and we're going to use the city or the zip code, if you know your zip code, which you all should, to search some cities. And again, I'll give you that assignment later. There is one more thing that I really wanted to point out to you. You'll notice that there's different types of offenders. There's lifetime, there's out of state, and there's also 10-year offenders. With each crime, and if you go under frequently asked questions over there, you'll get really detailed instructions. Lifetime means they're required for the rest of their lives to register. Out of state means that they committed their crime out of state, or maybe in Maryland, and now live in Pennsylvania, and we require them to register. And then 10-year offenders, they only have to register with the Pennsylvania State Police for 10 years, and then they won't need to do that Basically, anymore. The more severe the crime, the longer they have to register. All right, so it's time to get started on our Megan's Law assignment. Go into the town that you live in and check out the offenders living or working within the town. Look at 3 surrounding towns and search the offenders. Go to a big city like Philadelphia or Pittsburgh, something similar to that, and look at the amount of offenders. There will be many, many pages, so at the bottom you can click to the next page because you'll be surprised. Finally, you're going to write a reaction to this website. Is it a good tool to have in place? Do you think it will be effective? Why do you think the majority of offenders are males? Anything else you want to add? And then finally, remember to be respectful of other classmates. Comments should always be appropriate. You never know if one of your classmates has a relative on Megan's Law. Although you may not mean to be disrespectful, you may hurt someone's feelings. So the bottom line is think before you speak. Got it? Okay, begin.